All right, so now we're going to look at the pubic bone, or perhaps more accurately, the pubic symphysis. The pubic bone is the place where the pelvic halves are meeting, right? We have a piece of cartilage in the center here, and they're going to have a little bit of flex and play, which we're about to feel. So first off, go ahead and touch the top of your pubic bone, easier to find than some of the points in the pelvis, and trace your way out to the edges just a little bit. Now, what you probably feel are protuberances called the pubic rami. These are important connection points for some muscles and ligaments, and they're going to mark the sort of outside edge of what I would think of as the pubic bone. So, touching those outside edges of the pubic rami, I'll go ahead and I'll begin to rock my pelvis a little bit. From this way of feeling, it's generally a little harder for me to feel movement between the two bones. But you can begin to feel, if you're noticing when you move in different ways, a little bit of shifting of those bones under your fingers. So go ahead and find your way to the center of that joint now, and you'll be touching just above that piece of cartilage, and see if you can trace down and feel the length of the pubic bone. Right, so I won't be at the bottom of the pubic bone until I'm at the very top of the genitals on a male or female bodied person, right? And I'll be just at the top of what we looked at in the sit bone video, this sort of triangle or the front pubic arch, right? So I want to get a sense of how long and deep and wide what we would call the pubic bone is. So if I sort of hold gently if it's tender in your body, but if I sort of grab hold of each side of the pubic bone, the front ends of the pelvic halves, right, something like this, then for me it's generally a little easier to feel the movement. So just like we did when we were feeling the sort of sides of that isosceles triangle of the pubic arch, or on the sides of the genitals and the front of the sit bones, you can feel the movement there. You can also begin to feel the movement at the top of that triangle in the pubic symphysis. So the image I'm going to use here is combining the pubic symphysis, or relating the pubic symphysis to the SI joints and back. You'll begin to notice I use my hands to help me model things in space a lot, and that helps me get a feel of very specific points that I'm trying to feel in my body. I encourage you to do similar, but whatever helps you. If you find this useless, don't copy me. So I have my pubic symphysis here, and I'm feeling the sort of rock between the two bones, the fronts of the pelvic halves. And then I'm imagining moving back around that center top bowl of the pelvis we've sort of looked at. And I'm feeling back to where the SI joints are, right? So now I'd be cupping the sacrum like we looked at in the sacrum video. And then here's my pubic symphysis out here, and sacrum or SI joints back here. So now I'm going to imagine that I can feel around the SI joint just the way that I did to the pubic joint. And I can't actually touch and make this happen, which is why the hands are so good. And I'm going to begin to feel the relationship between the three joints of the bony ring of the pelvis. Now beginning to imagine if I have any excess tension around the pubic bone. A lot of us tend to hold tension there because of various cultural reasons and ways we view and feel our bodies. I'm going to begin to imagine now that there is a waterfall originating around the pubic bone, and it's just falling and flowing. This is how I imagine it. And it's all around the points I've been touching, as well as on the inside, and it's just flowing down. And it sort of rinses and washes my bones so that I see them as clear, clean white. And then I go ahead and layer back in the image of the fascia and the ligaments and the muscles on top of this just bony structure that's released the tension surrounding it. I'll take that same image back to the SI joint, so I have that raining, showering down as I'm rocking the pelvis a little bit and looking for a centered, balanced sitting posture. Feeling the fall, the showering water, and now I'm relating those three joints to one another. So can I relate the falling waterfall image and balance the three images of waterfalls in order to create movement or stillness, either one? So I'm imagining that the movement or the stillness is arising from the balanced action of those waterfalls falling. Now I can think back to the sit bones resting on the chair, and then go up to the softness, relaxing of those joints. I can imagine the whole pelvic half, the crests on top, and the SI joints and the sacrum resting in this sort of hammock or V-shaped indentation with the SI joints, and then the tailbone hanging from the sacrum. And once again, the tailbone has a similar sort of falling feel to it, right? We talked about the keys before. So I can start to relate now the waterfall tension relaxing imagery in the pubic symphysis, the SI joints, as well as the tailbone. And I can start to begin to feel into what it would be like to have a perfectly relaxed and balanced pelvis. If you enjoyed this video, sign up for the InBody Space newsletter and share the link with a friend. You can also find original content on Facebook and Instagram.